I'm Maya Sundermeyer, and I would like to welcome you to the latest episode of my blog series. So far, I have been able to share my own experiences on what it's like for me to live with Asperger syndrome. A second thing that I will do is give my 2 cents on what's going on with autism in the media. A third area entails providing tips and advice for those of you that have Asperger syndrome, as well as anybody inside the autism community, such as families and employers, professionals, and the like. And finally, I will cover topics on things that I'm passionate about that are not autism related. Now, before I dive into the next topic, what I would like to do first is mention 2 things. Number 1, please be sure to click up here in the upper right hand corner. This is a video by Beatdown Boogie, and the name of this video is called Snake and Ghost Do DragonCon 2010. And what they do is they go to DragonCon every year and do a great montage of videos of some really cool costumes. And this in particular is one of my favorite videos, particularly because of Snake's randomness. And a second thing I would like you guys to do is check out my written blogs on WordPress.com. And you can find those under helloworld240.wordpress.com. That's helloworld240.wordpress.com. And what I would like to do now is mention a few things. Number 1, this is the 3rd anniversary of myself going in and starting my blogs. And I would like to give a shout out to Mr. Damon Wood about that. He was the fellow who planted the blog seed into my head, and he had worked with me on another video back in 2007 called A Lifetime of Services for the Emory Autism Center, where I was not only diagnosed with Asperger syndrome, but also to inspire people and show them how far I was coming. And he really liked what I had to say, so he thought that it would be a really good idea for me to put these in my blogs. And a second thing I would like you guys to know is that I am now at 100 subscribers, and I'm really excited about that. So for all of you 100 viewers out there, welcome. Please be sure to share this. And I wanted to let you guys know that this is DragonCon 2016 season. And tomorrow is the opening night when everybody will start picking up their badges and getting accustomed to the venues and start walking around in their costumes and mingling and signing up to play games. And I wanted to let you know what I have been up to. So in previous years, as you guys know, I have been buying my passes in advance. And the first time I worked on my vlog with Damon, I had gotten a press pass, so I was able to get into the con free. But since then, the rules have changed, so I've had to pay for a pass myself. But this year, though, I have not bought myself a pass. I just have not been in the mood to do so. And I've also been really distracted. And I also have not been working on my vlogs and talking about DragonCon related topics because that's not really been my mood. But I started preparing for DragonCon this past Sunday by going to the Walmart neighborhood market, and I had gotten myself a bunch of snacks that I'm going to bring into a backpack. And I also wanted to let you guys know that I will not be staying in a room with anybody else. The plan so far is to travel back and forth between MARTA and Uber. And it's really nice because I don't have to stay down in a hotel room, which is really crowded, in addition to hearing all kinds of noise outside my room and then waking up with a stiff neck. That is unless tomorrow night I run into somebody who has some extra space in a bed or on a floor. But in the meantime, I'm going to stick with Uber. And another thing that I wanted you guys to know is that originally I was going to bring my selfie stick along and stick them onto my little iPod Touch. Unfortunately, I found out today on Twitter that DragonCon has rules against the selfie stick due to the dangers of large crowds. And I don't really know how that ties in, but I am sure if I think about it or ask somebody later on, I'll be able to figure it out. In the meantime, I am going to be picking up my pass on Friday morning first thing, and then I'm going to be going to my panels as well as taking my iPod Touch and my iPad mini out and doing as many videos as possible, so please be sure to stay tuned. Regarding costumes, I am not dressing up this year. Originally, I thought about going as Mary Margaret from Once Upon a Time, but I didn't really have the time or the energy to pull something together, and I also thought about getting some temporarily washable hair dye and going as Joy from Inside Out. And again, I just didn't have the time or the energy to go to a Goodwill and pick something up. In the meantime, I'm going to be geeking it out in my favorite licensed t-shirts and doing a theme. So tomorrow, I'm going to be walking around in my favorite Star Trek shirt, which has Mr. Spock doing his Vulcan hand sign, and he's almost rapping, and it says, "Trek yourself before you wreck yourself." And then Friday, I'm going to do a Stitch theme because he is one of my very favorite characters. So, if you have any questions about how to reach me in regards of an interview, please be sure to hit me up on Twitter under SummerGirl43. Also, be sure to state below whether or not you would like to do an interview, and be sure to find me. Until next time, I'm Maya Sundermeyer, and I'm signing off.